All right. Good morning. Good morning, Grand Rising. Welcome to R&K Wealth Developments.
Grand
Investor Johnson, Grand Rising. I know. I put it in there. We're gonna be recording this call today. We're gonna start posting. So do ask the questions that jump into your head. Don't be afraid to be a part of the conversation. There's a lot going on, a lot of things that we need to be up to speed on. So that we can invest our monies in the proper ways, make sure that our families are well taken care of. So the first portion of the call today is going to be about new information, what's going on in the world, what has happened over the past week that has really created kind of a stir or just news in terms of things that are going on. I have a couple of videos and things we can look at and just some conversation. So to get it started, number one thing I think that happened this week is that we had I hate to call it bank runs, but I would have to call it that. You had people that could not get their money out of Bank of America. And the other banks had to take real quick precaution and make sure they had enough cash to really be able to handle whatever business was going on for everybody else in the world. Because, you know, a bank run is kind of like a landslide, if you will. Once it starts, it's hard to stop. And I can tell you personally, not only did I pull money out, but I know at least 5 other people that went in and just pulled a few dollars out to keep at the house just in case. I don't want to be an alarmist with that, but we do have to be honest about what we see going on. On these calls, we've talked for more than a year about just how these things are going and that there's a reset going in terms of the investment market. And we have to pay attention to what's going on. So we have to be cognizant of what's happening. Bank of America has some very, very upset people. If you Google it, you can see there's a bunch of different people that just were very, very, very upset. Bank accounts went to zero, some people in the negative, and they really didn't have an answer for that. All right. And we've discussed this before for those of you all that are not always here. We've talked about why these things are what they are. We know that the Bank of International Settlement, which is the central bank of central banks. So think Federal Reserve Bank has a larger bank over it. That would be the Bank of International Settlement, where all of the major G7, G20 countries basically come together to do business. That bank is in $80 trillion worth of debt. So when you start talking about debt, and at that level, that's unsustainable. We know that there has to be a changing of the guard in a meaningful way, because this system is no longer, and this is my opinion, this system is no longer sustainable, okay? So you're talking about a situation where this week also, the Saudi Arabia actually pulled out of the petrodollar. What does that mean? What it means very simply is that the US dollar is backed really by oil. And it's an agreement that we had with United Arab Emirates and other major oil producing countries, which the two top are the United Arab Emirates and Russia, that all oil would be settled in US dollar. Pulling out of the petrodollar means you no longer have to settle in the US dollar. So what that did is it created a situation where the US dollar dropped. And in the second segment, when we start talking about trading and stocks and things of that nature, I'm going to show you a chart where you can see exactly what happened this week. Now, all of this sounds like rocket science, but it's really not. Okay, we all see this every day. You know that your groceries cost more. You know that gas went up, especially if you do anything in terms of driving, in terms of your business or your work. You know that the cost of everything else is up, and you hear on the news are consistently talking about inflation. Well, all of that comes back from the idea that we know they no longer settle in US dollar. They agreed to settle in yuan last week. This week, they agreed to settle not only in yuan, but in other forms. They have not said gold yet, but that's yet. The minute they do that, the price of gold is going to go up. And for you guys that are tuning in from the round table, you'll remember that Sadiq said on many occasions, you want to be looking at your precious metals. You want to be looking at the cost of gold, things of that nature. That's how that becomes important. You see, doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand what's going on. You just need the dots connected real quick, and then your righteous mind to tell you what the next step is. You know what I mean? But my suggestion is keep a little more cash around the house than you normally would have, because we're seeing a lot of just movement in terms of the market. The banks, we're seeing bank signs saying that the Federal Reserve is no longer printing cash. We know that they're looking to go into a digital coin. That's something else that we talk about a lot. So that's when you get into your cryptocurrencies and things. And just you want to make sure that you got a few extra dollars, because if things should shake up, which they can, you want to be in a position to still be able to move and do the things that you need to do. Okay. Now, that's that first segment in terms of kind of what's going on in the world right now. Anybody have any questions, anything they want to add to that piece? Any news that I missed?
Not really, but I did buy some silver bars the other day. So
Did you? Yeah,
yeah.
it is. If you don't mind me asking, what was the price on that?
3 ounces was like 105. Because they were actually out because somebody had bought like 2 sheets. I think that came out to like 40 ounces, which is like $1,400. So like if it gets up as high as 500, that's like 20 grand they made real quick.
Right.
So
right.
Where did you acquire it? And from whom?
I'm in Atlanta. So there's I just basically searched for gold and buy gold and silver coins near me.
Got it.
And this place basically sell coins, but I think like the silver coins was like $45, and she was like, "You're better off getting a silver bar, which is like an ounce, and that's like $35." So, and it actually went up like $1 since Monday. So,
wow. So already you got a profit on it, huh?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
That's it right there. For those of you all that in the Chicagoland area, we buy ours over here in Elmhurst, right on York Road. If anybody that's interested in that, if you're in our area, just shoot me something in the chat, and I'll shoot you over the information. And we tend to buy in silver coins, so they're generally about $25 a piece, something like that. You have to kill yourself, man, but it's a good idea to just maintain that. And as a matter of conversation, if you guys look behind me here, you see I got the safe back here. You don't have to do all this, but you should have something where you can maintain something at the house, man. It's just important to really have yourself, what they say, multiple streams, or just multiple ways to maintain your whole system here.
Yeah, no, I was looking at a safe the other day. But yeah, Deke was saying that it's about $25 for like the actual market value, but whoever you buying it from, they obviously mark it up. So it wound up costing me $35 a bar. So
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's kind of what's going on in terms of the news. We're gonna touch a little bit more in the next segment, but right now I'm gonna jump into trading and what's going on in the currency markets and just the market in general. So we're seeing an uptick in the S&P, in the NASDAQ, in those things. Now, with that being said, we have been expecting a downturn on this for quite a while. Okay. And excuse me, you generally get an up before you get a down, right? So I'll kind of show you. Let me see. I want to bring up a particular thing here just so you guys get an idea. I'm gonna share the screen. All right. Now this is our preferred pair that we trade basically on a daily basis, right? And if you're looking here, you'll see you get a lot of down. Then all of a sudden, if you get down far enough, you'll get an up. Every time you get an up, you got to get a down again. And we've been expecting a major down for quite a while because there's just so much turmoil in the world. So if you look at this screen that I got up here, this is a month by month screen, and it is it's really years. So if you, I don't expect everybody to see it if you're on your phone or whatever, but if you look here, we had this humongous drop here. This was 08, 09, and then we had a bump up. Then we had a down again. But if you notice, you're still making, everything is coming down. Even though it's going up, what we call a lower high, right? And so as we're watching this market, we also know that the petrodollar ended really this week, period. Now that they're accepting new denominations other than the US dollar, it's really changing the landscape in the world. So what that means is that when you look at this, you're seeing the value of, at this point, this is British pound versus USD. So everything you see going down should push the US dollar up. But the problem we have, and I just popped up something that'll show the US dollar going up. You see where it was way down in the toilet here in 09, 10, 11, and then it made this humongous up. Then it kind of went sideways and went way up here. So we're expecting, if you see where this is here, we're expecting to come way back down here because there's no reason for it to stay. If we're not the reserve currency of the world, this chart is showing you exactly what's going on. And in the next segment, I'm going to talk about how to trade these things and what type of what accounts and things to have. I don't expect anybody to jump into this head first. You're going to be able to get a demo account, which means you will not be putting your real money at stake, but it'll get you started. It's another way for you to make money. For you know this, and it's something that you need to be able to do. You have to be able to make money in addition to just working. You're never going to get to the point of wealth that you want to be with just working. You need to work, but you got to have your investments and you have to have things that are going to make additional revenue. This is something that can be done where you don't need another person. You just need to learn what it is in terms of the techniques and things. And we're going to do a series of videos really teaching and training you on how to trade. Okay. We'll be doing that in over the course of the next couple, 3 weeks. What I would ask all of you to do is go to RNK Wealth Development on YouTube and subscribe. And we're gonna have YouTube. We'll have we've got our Twitter, and we're gonna have TikTok and Rumble. So I need subs on all of those. And let people know if you want to learn how to trade and how to make additional income without having to get another job and all that kind of thing, we're really going to be teaching this and showing you how to do it. Okay. And it's not a situation where we're going to be looking for like actual, subscriptions per month unless you want to get our trading signals. That's something else we're going to be doing. So we do this every day, and we have our signals so we know which way we want to go and when. And if you want to do that, you do have to pay for that. That's what they call intellectual property. We got to make some money if you're making some money, and that's what we do. We usually write too. I don't have a percentage on it, but nobody's right all the time. But we hit quite a bit, And we'll talk about the techniques that are needed in order to learn how to trade, because it's easy for you to get a signal. Like I could send a signal to everybody and say, hey, here's a buy. If you're not willing to get in, you're not gonna be successful. There's psychology to it. And we'll talk more about that when we start teaching the classes and really getting into that aspect of it. So with that, anybody have any questions on that piece of it before I move over to some of the other stuff? No? All right. So next segment I want to get into, and I'm gonna just get this thing a whole segment all by itself, because I think this is kind of like my conspiracy segment. People really enjoy it, but it's unfortunately it's a little too real for what we have before I move over to some of the other stuff. No? All right. So next segment I want to get into, and I'm gonna just get this thing a whole segment all by itself, because I think this is kind of like my conspiracy segment. People really enjoy it, but it's unfortunately it's a little too real for what we have going on here. So is everybody familiar with World Economic Forum, WEF, IMF, and all of these different global bodies? No. Yeah. So let me just get into this. So the WEF is called the World Economic Forum. They are an unelected global body of very wealthy people that get together and discuss world problems and solutions. And supposedly they put their money together to try to help the world. Now, sounds great. And it would be great if the guy at the top didn't have a heavy German accent and sound like a Bond villain. They are connected to some of the darker corners of the world. And the things that come out about some of the things that they want to be involved in is just crazy. This is where you hear some of these things about just some of the more crazy, I won't say crazy, but some of the more darker conspiracy theories. People that anybody know anything they've heard about the different gates. Like now we've got Garage Gate, with President Biden having access to classified documents that he did not turn back in while he was vice president. And that's problematic, because as a sitting president, you can declassify at any time. You cannot do that if you're a vice president. So that makes it problematic for him. And on top of that, there's been more than just one cache of documents found. So, they say they're, working with the DOJ and all of that, but it looks questionable at best. We have found out through the laptop stuff that there's collusion and alleged collusion in selling off American oil to China and other state actors by the Biden family. Is that for sure? No, we don't know for sure, but these are some of the things that you're hearing. There's been things talked about with some of these other places. People are in the streets protesting in a lot of these other countries, protesting the climate change reports, protesting just some of the what I would call draconian ideas about what's going on in terms of farmland and things of that nature. They're basically putting farmers out of business. And so there's a lot here that affects us as individuals and affects our businesses in the way that we make money. On this call, we always come back to how is this going to affect my ability to make money, take care of my family, take care of myself, and i.e. my greater community. We have to look at food insecurity, because if things are happening in farms overseas where we get food, then that at some point shows back up here. Are we able to have the foods that we need in the grocery stores? Very few of us can grow food. Very few of us even have land to grow anything, to be very honest. So all of these things play a role, okay? All of these things play a role. To get back to the more conspiratorial stuff, the WEF had a week-long summit over the past week, where some of the things that came out, they want to vaccinate people through food, through the growing of actual food, through the vegetables, really. So they want to change the DNA of the vegetables to include the vaccine, so that you're already vaccinated, excuse me, through that. So you don't have to have you don't have to come and get a shot or any of that other kind of stuff. So, you know, a lot of people just don't trust government enough to even, you know, really take that into consideration. And
Hey,
then
Rock. Hey, Rock.
ahead.
Real quick on that point.
Mhm.
What also came out last week, and I want to say maybe the week before that, the Pfizer CEO talked about the new launch of the new pill that has a chip in it, so that once you take the pill, it actually signals them that you've taken it and you're now trackable.
Right. Right.
Unbelievable.
Well, and then that takes us into CBDCs, which that is the governmental crypto digital currency that they issue, and is fully programmable. Now, here's something to remember, and I said this before. It can be a really good thing what's going on with the crypto assets, but it depends on the regulation. Okay. Now, I saw a regulation come out that said that it would be prohibited for the government to program your money to disappear in any way, shape, form, or fashion in terms of switching over to crypto. Now, that's good, but we do have to remember that, you know, you don't do it all at once. You know, you get it out there for a minute, you let people get used to it, you see that it works, you see that it has a use case, and then, you know, you can slip in that it can be programmable in certain circumstances, which can always turn into always circumstances in terms of how these things work. So it becomes incumbent upon us to make sure that we hold these people that we vote for accountable. The real issue now is you have people like the WEF who are not people that can be held to any account because they're not voted for. Okay. So a lot of that is where you get a lot of this more conspiratorial stuff. These are the things that you really have to sit back and think about how you are going to personally move in this new economy. We don't have the luxury of opting out, because this is already moving, and the system that exists at the moment is already failing. Okay. This shakeup that we had this week where money just disappeared, you're already in a situation where your money is basically programmable. You know, and something that we found out this week is that banks, because of fractionalized reserve banking, banks don't actually have money. You have a ledger that accounts for the monies that you have in the bank. And then you can go out and pull out a couple of dollars as you see fit. But if you've ever gone on vacation or done anything like that, you know that you have a limit to how much money you can pull out. And matter of fact, fun fact for everybody, if you are not established as a business as of yet, you need to be. Okay. As an asset manager and a trader, we can help you do that. We can help you develop that. Here's why that's important. As an individual, the most I've ever seen you be able to pull out of an ATM at any given time is $1,000, right? And that's on an older account. Generally, it's about $500. Now, we're not talking walking into the bank. We're talking at the ATM. Now, as a business, you have that same debit card. I used to be unlimited. I could swipe my debit card for a gazillion dollars and it would go through, okay, because the company's been established for so many years. They've since cut that back and it's about $25,000. So the reasoning for having your LLC and having your banking system in place is to be able to, at minimum, be able to touch that kind of money if you need to, you see. Now, I do realize we're going to go to digital, but you want to have the largest limits that you can. Think of it like you need the biggest credit cards that you can have or biggest ability to touch loans. And to understand that, understanding the person that has access to $1 million of credit is still considered a millionaire. Okay, so I'm going to stop right here because I said a lot and give you guys the opportunity to ask some questions on that. And then we'll get into this last segment. And then we'll just do some questions on the last portion of that. So anybody have any questions on any of that stuff?
What was the name of that YouTube channel you said subscribe to?
Oh, R&K Wealth Development. So it's the name of the company. Matter of fact, here I'll thought I had my signage. I'll shoot it. I'll put it in the text.
Okay.
I'll put it in the text for you. Here, I appreciate that because that's real important here. I'll do it for you right now. Yeah, so that everybody should have that now. Anybody else have any questions on any of the stuff that's going on? I'm gonna move into this next segment if we don't.
Good.
Last segment is really about what are we going to be doing moving forward in terms of our firm and our groups and things that we're part of. You know, Black Man's Roundtable, our investor call that we do every other Saturday. The goal here now is to start to monetize this information. So we're going to be doing a couple of different things. One, we're going to start teaching you how to trade. Okay. So these videos and things are going to be uploaded right onto the platform. We're going to teach you how to step-by-step trade, how to make money in addition to everything else that you're doing. This does not take a gazillion dollars. Okay. So we're not talking you got to come with, $40,000 to make any money. No. Generally speaking, $300 to $500 is all you really need to get started with to currency trade in particular, which is where we're going to focus because it's the easiest for you to get into as a novice without big money being put up, and it allows you to make a couple $100 real easy. You know what I'm saying? And really kind of learn the market, which will expand your greater understanding of really the entire marketplace as a whole. Okay. So that's one. Two, we're going to do a series of how to create wealth for an individual, man or woman. Because a lot of times we talk about Black Man's Roundtable, but this is people's roundtable. There is no color, there's no creed, there's no religion. We're gonna teach you from 0 to 60 how to structure your life for success. So from I have a job to I'm ready to retire. And I'll give you guys a little piece of this thing real quick. First thing we have to do is we have to structure our value system, because your value system dictates how you move in terms of your whole life. So that encompasses your ability to make money, and it encompasses your ability to leave money for the next generation. Okay. So 3 things we're going to touch initially. your business plan, which is how you make money, your financial plan, which is what you do with the money when you have it, and your oh God, I'm forgetting the name of it. Your I forgot the name, but anyway, it's your plan for when you pass away, basically. Your succession plan. That's not what it's called, but it's a different word. But it's effectively your succession plan. So
The
you're
estate.
talking estate plan. That's what it is. That's what. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Your estate plan. Those are the 3 keys to how to live a successful life. We all have, if we don't have children, we have nieces, nephews, family members, brothers, sisters, whatever, that we want to see do well after we have transitioned on. And so you have to take steps to making that become a reality. And you have to understand this as well. It doesn't really matter how much money you make right now. You need the plan. So when we talk about those being the 3 things, that's the idea. Then we get into the 2, 5, and 7 year plan. What is your actual structure for what you're doing, how you're going to build that out? So we're going to do a whole video series on each of those things, and we're going to get down into it. What inspired us to kind of do this is, with a lot of the conversation that we have, it seems that, we have had different people kind of pop up and deal with a lot of the societal situations that are going on. And we just felt like this is the piece that has not been touched on. You'll hear people say, hey, get in the gym, work 60 hours a week, be a better version of yourself. You hear that from the Kevin Samuels of the world. You hear that Andrew Tate. For the ladies, you got some of the other people, Crimson Cure, and some of the other ladies like that. What's the other lady's name? Pink Book Lessons. And they talk about how to be a better woman, right? So you have people addressing the genders and things and how that works, but nobody's really getting into the weeds in terms of what that looks like on a day-to-day basis, okay? And as an asset manager, that is actually what I do for a living. So if you were a person that, let's say you guys were, I don't know, big, say you won the lottery, because everybody's not a great athlete, right? So all of a sudden you have a large amount of money. What do you do with that money? And how do you build a business around this pot of money? What happens to that? How do you make it continue to make money? That's the key, because if you don't, you'll just pinch off of it until it's gone. So we're going to get into the nuance of how to do that. So you're really going to learn, what do I do on Monday at 8:30 a.m.? What am I doing Tuesday at 1:30 p.m.? What am I doing in the middle of the night? Because I can tell you sometimes myself and Wanda, who's my trade partner, we're up in the middle of the night when you guys are asleep trading. You see? So you have to really have a plan on what you're doing. And as we build this out, we're going to put some signage up so you guys, it's always in the back of your head. We always say, plan your trade, trade your plan. But that can be grown out to plan your life, live your life, right? And most of us have no real structure to what it is we're trying to do. And that is why we have a modicum of success and not the type of success that we really would like to have. And it doesn't really matter what business you're in. When you have that focus, you'll do that. And then we'll also talk about being a team, because no one is successful individually. Nobody even exists individually. Okay, you had to have 2 people come together to create you. You've always been part of a team. And so when you understand the team aspect, and you understand using these forums like this and being able to take it and apply it to your life, and then being able to then pass that to the next man or woman so that they can then move it forward, that's the goal of what we're going to be doing with all of this content that we're going to create. Okay. And look, we welcome any assistance with that. Anybody has anything they want to add to it? I know specifically Tori is like the man when it comes to marketing and things of that nature. And so down the line, Tori, I'd love to have you do, a couple of videos where we can go back and forth and talk about what that looks like. We're able to monetize it through the video, so we don't have to get out and chase subscriptions from individual people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Media will pay us for the information. That's the beauty of this age, you see. So the only thing we're going to be looking for anybody to pay for is if you want trade signals. That is proprietary information, and I cannot give you that for free because we have to work our behinds off to know where we think things are going. You know what I mean? And it's significant when you have the ability to get into a position and you really know where it's going. Thousands of dollars are made in seconds. It'll blow your mind. Your eyes roll right out your head. Like I worked 2 weeks and didn't make this kind of money, and I made this money in 30 seconds. These are the things that they don't teach in school. Nobody teaches trading. Because if they did, nobody do anything else. Am I right about that, Wanda? And I tell you something, Wanda is funny. She one of the best traders I've ever seen, man. Just dynamic. But she's funny. She's like, Rock, this is all the money. And I'll say this and I'll move on to the last piece. Understanding what the markets are. The currency market as a whole around the world is a 2.85 super long number quadrillion dollar marketplace. It dwarfs every other market. It's not even close. Not trillion, quadrillion. So that means multiple trillions, like hundreds of trillions. So this information that we're going to be teaching, this will be must-watch video, I promise you, because nobody's going to sit up and give it to you like we're getting ready to do. You see? And you just keep watching the videos over and over again, make sure you get it down, because it will change the trajectory of all the people with the same last name as you. It is that significant, And from here, we branch out and make our wolf pack even bigger. We want to bring in additional professionals, and we'll do some Zooms where we bring on people who are doing different things in different segments of the economy to talk to you so that you can glean that information as well. You see? It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. So with that being said, we'll stop and go through, see if anybody's got any questions on any of that. And do you have any ideas on content that you may personally want to assist with? Maybe some of the businesses that you're involved in. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we do non-emergency medical with Deep. We do marketing with Tori. Whatever you're into. So anybody have any questions on any of that stuff? We recording, figure out a question, people. Nothing? Oh, there you go. Deep, you had something?
Nah, I don't got nothing as far as like a question. I do want to add something though that Biden just did on January 10th. He signed a deal with Mexico and Canada called the Declaration of North America, where pretty much we become like one big country. So basically they'll be erasing the borders and connecting Mexico and Canada with America. That's something that was a plan for them for the 2030 agenda. And they met in Mexico City on January 10th and did that. So I just want to say that because we are head first into the New World Order, you know what I mean? So just pay attention to things that may affect, because right after he did that, that's when J.B. Pritzker and them went hard on the gun control. So pay attention to how we are headed in a certain direction and make your investments according to that. That's all I want to say.
No, I appreciate that. That's a good point. I would piggyback off of that too. Pay attention to some of the foolishness that you hear on the TV and understand what it is. A great example of that is I saw a video of Jamie Dimon this week, basically poo-pooing Bitcoin, right? Oh, you don't want no Bitcoin. That's just a scam. He literally and physically said, it's just a scam. It's a Ponzi scheme. You can buy it if you want to, blah, blah, blah. Now, what's important to know is you can go back and see where he said that 2 or 3 years ago, where it was going to be, oh, this is trash. Anybody even really worried about it? Then he came out, and it actually came out that he and Chase are a heavy investor.
The biggest owners of Bitcoin.
Right. Heavy investor in Bitcoin and Ethereum. They the money behind Ethereum. And now he coming back telling you don't buy it again. Well, if you're paying attention to the pattern, and here's where being a trader is important, because we're always looking for the patterns, right? You said don't buy it last time when you was buying it, right? Then you said, oh, you know, we had it, da, 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 da. That means he's selling it, right? Everybody was jumping in. Now he's telling you again, don't buy that stuff, it's trash. Which means what?
Buy time.
You have to put your pennies next to their dollars. And that's when you'll have the success you're looking for, because most of us are not the titans of industry that these people are. You know what I'm saying? Wanda, did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
No, just that a lot of times when you start to look at certain investments, and some people will follow the CNBCs of the world, again, to Rock's point, whatever the TV tells you to do, you do the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
When they tell you it's a horrible time to get in, that's exactly the time to get in. When they tell you, oh, it's time to go, that means they're selling. So you have to think about it. They're not going to give you the yellow brick road to success or wealth. Mm-hmm. They're always setting you up to be just the opposite, because the market, to be honest about it, the market is a rigged game. There's nothing fair about it.
Amen to that one. You know what? I'll take that a step further, and we'll talk more about this when we do the videos about trading. We look at market sentiment, right? Which is really them telling you which way people are leaning. And matter of fact, here, I'll put it on the screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about.
Hey, Rock, real quick. It makes sense what you're saying about Bitcoin and Ethereum, because I noticed that the prices have been going up over the last week.
Bitcoin's back up to like 24,000 from like 15. So you made $9,000 if you bought in. Okay, so yeah, that's significant. So let me. You guys see the screen? Can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah, we should.
Okay. So this is one of our indicators, and we'll get into this on the videos when we start teaching these things. So this is a sentiment thing, and if you can see it, you see it says 59% short, no 67 because I just refreshed it, 33% long. Generally speaking, we will have already mapped out everything, all the signals that we're looking for.
Wait, Rock, before you go further, just so to edify everyone, short and long simply means short, simply means sell, long simply means buy.
I'm sorry, I'm just talking like everybody's a trader.
Right, like everybody knows. No, short, short means sell, long means buy.
Right. And you can make money either way. Right. And we'll get into that when we teach the training and stuff. So you'll understand, you know, you can go either way. That's one of the beauties of currency, because other things that you trade, unless you're a professional, you can't even do short. You can only do long. The game is so completely rigged. But when you understand the rules, like anything else, you can win the game. You cannot play basketball in an ice rink, not and expect to win. And that's what most of us do. So what's important about that is that we'll do a lot of informational gathering because all the time, right? Like all day I'm listening to different guys that kind of give me an idea what we're doing. You know, we'll powwow, figure out what we're looking at, look at the screens, look at different things and see where we are. And we'll come to this last. We'll say, okay, what are they saying they're going to do? So you guys see 67.33, right? Okay. So they're telling you everybody thinks that thing is going short. Now, can you guys see this chart? Can you guys
Yes.
see the chart?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So that was yesterday, okay? And if you're looking at the chart, green means up, red means down, right? So when that was out, what is this? This is the day. No, that ain't what I want. I do want to. Yeah. So this is over the course of a day, right? And when we got this information, this is January 20th. This is yesterday, 4 o'clock in the morning, right? So we look at that and it says, hey, it's going down, it's going red. But if you look, did it go red or did it go green? All right. They said everybody, 67, 70% of people thought it was going down. And which way did it go? That's how you know the game is rigged. And there's certain laws to it too. The broker can move the targets if they want to. It's legal for them to move 50 pips, which don't worry about what that is right now, but they can legally move it back and forth. So you have to really be paying attention and understand what you're looking at. So we'll get into that, but I just wanted to give you a real life example of the game really being rigged. They want to, if they tell you down, they want to take it up and get their money out of you. Because if it goes down like you thought it did, then you make money. If it goes up when you thought it was going down, they make it. And that is the significance of how that works. So that's just important in terms of you understanding kind of the system. Everybody's already experienced this. Everybody on this call is an adult, and you have already experienced in one way or another in your life where you're like, man, this should have went this way, but it went that way. Well, when I give you a chart like that, you're able to see in real time how that's working. You know, you hear about market manipulation and you hear, okay, I've got to get into position, and want to just explain to you. The news basically is giving you the vice versa of what you should probably actually be doing. And on top of that, you're not trained to even be able to take advantage of whether the market is up or down either way. Okay. And so what we're looking to do here really is put the power back into your hands for you to be able to take advantage of things that you already know are going. The older you are, the more information you have. So it will be like this. When you look at the screen, I'm gonna put it up in months. If you're 20 years old, you may have only seen up to here. You 40, you've seen up to here. You 50, 60, 70, you know, more stuff you've seen gives you a better idea of what's going on. And once you kind of know that, you know the patterns because you've seen them. But do you have the ability to take advantage of the patterns that you know are there in a meaningful way that'll change your life and the lives of your loved ones, of your descendants who will come behind you? Because that's what this is really about. We're really talking legacy building here. Okay. So that's what I want to leave all of you guys with. This is the reason that and I've talked to a lot of you guys individually and within different groups that we work with. And you guys know that at some point I'm like, I'm done talking. It's time to get moving. That's where we at. We done with the talk side of this thing. You know, we'll get together and still do that. But we're here now to actually take some action and really put some money in your pocket, put the power in your hands for you to move your family forward and build the legacy that you have. For those of us that have children, you may not see all of the upside potential of what we're going to do with this thing in your lifetime. But they can put your picture up on the wall and remember you fondly if you lay down the game here. You know what I mean? So with that, I appreciate everybody attending the call. We're going to get more regimented. We kind of formatted the call today. We did record this. We're going to edit it and get it up. We're going to do the different series. Reach out to me, tell your friends and everybody to come and get on the channel, because we need as many subs as possible to monetize it. I can't put out game if we're not monetizing it, because then it don't make no difference. But if you know, everybody need to learn how to make money, while they sleep, and understand a real course of action. And so with that, we need as many people as we can. So let your people know. Honestly, it don't even matter if they watch it. We prefer that they do, but just sub so we can power this thing and take advantage of media. Okay, because that's an unheard thing that I don't think people understand. And I'll close with this really, really good way of understanding money and just power and authority agency. There's really 5 ways to make money. I used to think it was 4, but I didn't understand media at the time. 1 is working. Okay, you go to work, trade time for money. 2 is real estate investment for rental income. I was very specific in what I said. 3 is stock. You can make money on stocks and you can make interest on stocks. 4 is really illegal things. If you have a way into something that is illegal, then generally it makes money. Now, I don't partake in it myself, but it cannot be lost on you that there are illegal things that make money. And number 4, and probably the most powerful, and we don't think about this, media. Now, so many people have podcasts, they're able to create and control their own content, which is really information, right? Now, we still have a situation where we're all dealing with the YouTubes of the world, that kind of thing. But decentralized applications are around the corner, which will allow you to control your own platform. So just understand, those are the 5 ways to make money. You need to be in as many of those as you can, at least 4. I wouldn't recommend putting your freedom in jeopardy. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't recommend that. But when you understand those 5 things, you're then able to plan and strategize to be successful. And then remember that once you understand those things, you can partner. That's the goal, because no one individual will be able to do it all on their own. Okay, you partner within groups, and those people have their things that they do within the group that can make you successful. One of the greatest things I've ever heard, and this came from the Jewish community, it says when 1 Jewish person makes money, 5 Jewish people make money. Okay, you have to employ those tactics. You have to do it, because life is life, and you'll have down times. When you're down, your people will be up, which will mean you're still up. That's what we're looking to do. So we're moving things forward. RK Wealth Development will lead the charge on this and give you the tools you need to be successful financially and really in life. Because when you lay out your plan and you execute it, that's going to be a life well lived. And then it's for you to apply it to your particular situation as you see.
Watch your face now.
Hey, Tahir, I saw you just pop in. Did you want to add something before we wrap up? I guess not.
I'm good, bro. I'm just checking in, listening to you.
Well, I appreciate that, brother. We're gonna get
No,
ready to
I
wrap
was
this
traveling
up.
today. That's why I'm late.
Oh, don't worry. Look, we're not gonna hold you to it. This is the first of the recorded sessions, though, so I appreciate
Right.
that you popped in for us.
For sure.
So yeah, just to wrap it up, people, I appreciate everybody coming through. We're gonna do it again, probably 2 weeks. We used to do it every week. We're probably gonna get back to that because we need to create the content to go on the platforms. because we're monetizing this stuff. But we're gonna do. I'm gonna bring in different professionals that do different things within the trading world, real estate world, just business world in general, where they talk about the different things that they're doing, how it works. And then we'll, like I said, we'll do a series on, just how to build out yourself. And just let everybody know to subscribe to the channel, because that's the key. If we have the subs, we can put out the information. We don't have the subs, I'm giving away good information and there's no money made, which means that we can't keep doing it. You see? So with that being said, thank you everybody for showing up. As Mary would say, grand rising. Say we've done enough mornings, so we don't do good mornings, we do grand risings. So grand rising, everybody know I got to go get my massage as usual. You got to take care of your body. So I got to go get my rub down. But everybody have a great day, and